Welcome to the Confident Speaker Podcast by Speaking Your Brand. This is your host, AI Carol. Let me ask you something. Have you ever listened to a podcast episode and thought, I should be a guest on a show like this? Or maybe you've even said, I'd love to share my story, but what exactly would I talk about? You're not alone. Being a guest on podcasts is one of the best ways to build your thought leadership, and fast. Why? Because when someone listens to you speak for 30 or even 45 minutes, they're getting to know who you are, what you stand for, and how you help. It's like a deep coffee chat at scale. So how do you get on podcasts? And even more importantly, what should you talk about once you're there? Let's start with the what to clarify your message, and then we'll get to the how to help you land those interviews. Here's something to remember. You don't need to know everything before you start showing up as a podcast guest. You only need a few clear stories and an idea that helps people see something in a new way. Let me tell you about one of the first times I was a podcast guest. I wasn't talking about public speaking yet. I was talking about women and politics and how our voices weren't being heard in the national conversation. I tied in what I was seeing in the media with my experiences hosting panels with female entrepreneurs. It wasn't a perfect message, not a polished elevator pitch, but it was real. And that honesty got me invited onto more shows. So how do you figure out what you should talk about when you pitch yourself? Here are 3 starting points. 1, what gets you fired up? Think about what you find yourself talking about often, maybe even ranting about. Is it how most public speaking is boring and uninspiring? Or how leadership doesn't have to look loud to be powerful? What's the thing you see that other people don't? That's your spark. Podcast listeners love hearing ideas that challenge the status quo, especially when they're delivered with clarity and heart. 2, what transformation do you provide? Your story isn't just your resume, it's how you got from point A to point B and how your listeners can too. Don't be afraid to share a moment when you struggled. In fact, start there and then connect it to what you've learned and how you help others. You want your stories to be relatable, not all wrapped up with a bow. 3, what do you want your audience to do next? Before you record any interview, think about your call to action. Where do you want listeners to go? Maybe it's a link to your speaker page or a lead magnet that ties into the topic you just discussed. One of our clients, Marie, uses a tool called Pretty Links to create custom URLs for each podcast episode she's on. That way, when she says visit mysite.com, speaking your brand, people easily remember it and land right where she wants them. But wait, before I let you go, I promised I'd answer the other big question. How do you actually get yourself booked? Start small and strategic. Pick 3 to 5 podcasts that speak to your ideal audience. Maybe it's a show about leadership, entrepreneurship, wellness, or diversity in the workplace, whatever aligns with your message. Listen to a few episodes, get a feel for the host style, then send a short, personal pitch. Let them know what you appreciate about their show and explain how your topic would be of value to their listeners. Bonus points if you suggest a few potential questions they could ask you. Just like that, you're in. And once you start showing up as a podcast guest, momentum builds. Hosts refer you to other hosts. Listeners follow you. Clients reach out. Your confidence grows. So here's your nudge. You don't need a book deal, a giant audience, or a polished website to start. You just need your voice and the courage to put it out there, because someone out there needs to hear your message in your words in only the way you can say it. You've got this. To find out how we can help you craft your standout message and land quality speaking opportunities, head over to speakingyourbrand.com. And if you love this episode, be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify for more insightful, actionable strategies. This on-demand episode was generated by my AI voice clone trained on speaking your brand content. Thanks for listening. I'm cheering you on.